Hi everyone, welcome back to my SQL placement series. In the previous video, we learnt the having clause, its syntax, and the order of execution, and some examples. Now, let's learn something that confuses many beginners but very important for interviews. That is the difference between where and having clause. Now, let us understand where clause with a simple example. Guys, assume we have an employee table which has three columns, that is employee ID, name and salary. Now I want to display only those employees whose salary is greater than 30,000. The query for this question is select asterisk from employees where salary greater than 30,000 ending with semicolon. Here we are selecting all the columns from the employees table. The where clause is used to apply a condition. This condition checks each row in the table and returns only those rows where salary is greater than 30,000. So the employees whose salary is less than or equal to 30,000 will be ignored. In the output, only Anita and John are displayed since their salary is greater than 30,000. So guys, now I can say that where clause works on row level data, not on grouped data. You can think where clause as a filter. It filters the rows on a given condition. And guys, this is very important. It filters rows before grouping. Now that we understood where clause, let's see how having clause is different from this. Again, assume we have the employees table which has four columns, that is employee ID, name, department and salary. Now suppose I want to write a query to find departments whose average salary is greater than 30,000. For that, this is the query. Let me explain this query. First, we are selecting the department column and the average salary. Then we are taking data from the employees table. Next, group by department. Groups all the employees based on their department. So all IT employees come into one group and all HR employees come into another group. And guys, after grouping, average salary is calculated for each department. Finally, the having clause is used to apply a condition on these groups. It filters the result and returns only those department whose average salary is greater than 30,000. That is IT department with average salary of 35,000. So this query first groups the data and then calculates the average and finally filters the grouped result using having clause. So guys, remember this, having clause is used to filter groups and it is mainly used with aggregate functions like average, sum, count, etc. Because we are not checking individual salaries here. We are checking the average salary of each department. That's why having clause is used. And one more important thing, having clause is always used after group by clause because having works on grouped data. First, group by creates the group. After that, having clause filters those groups. So guys, now let's quickly summarize the difference between where and having clause using a table. First, look at the purpose. Where clause filters rows while the having clause filter the groups. Next, where clause is used before group by but having clause is used after group by clause. This is very important. We cannot use aggregate functions like sum or average in where clause, but having is used with aggregate functions. And guys, this is also very important. Where clause works on individual records, that is, it is a row level filtering, whereas having clause works on grouped data, that is, it is a group level filtering. Coming to order of execution, where clause executes before group by whereas having clause executes after group by clause. That is, first where clause filters the rows, then group by clause creates groups. Finally, having filters the grouped result. And guys, many of you have this confusion on when to use where clause and when to use having clause. If the condition is on normal column, we use where clause, and if the condition is on aggregate values, we use the having clause. Okay guys, that's all for this video. And also I have added a few practice questions in the comment box related to where and having clause. I strongly recommend you try answering them on your own and post your answers in the comment box. Practicing like this will really help you remember the concept and improve your SQL skills. If this video helped you understand the difference between where and having, please like this video and save it for future revision. This is very common interview question, so saving it will help you revise quickly before interviews. Also share this video with your friends or classmates who are learning SQL. It might help them too. And if you want more beginner friendly SQL interview concepts, follow and subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting more SQL videos and practice questions regularly. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Happy learning.